Day 1. The start of the main X-Wing tournament. I brought the most meta list I've ever flown. So last year, I didn't do so well.
What happened? I'm out.
So I wanted to do better this year. Normally I don't feel comfortable flying meta lists, but at the Fresno Regional I brought some jank. I brought a fire spray and I actually made it into the top 8. Regional dice. Yeah. It was the best I'd ever done, and I felt justified. I took my jank, I did well, I got some regional dice, so I felt okay doing something a little more normal, I guess.
They got a Fostio.
Oh no!
Cody C right there. Your table 21.
21. So, the tournament starts, round 1. I'm paired against a similar list. It's 2 Jump Masters and a Fen Rao. It was way closer than I was comfortable with. I ended up winning, but I thought I should have been able to take that list. I can be stealing tokens. Manaru's got the PS advantage. I got the feedback array, but I barely eked out a win that game. But hey, a win's a win, so I was happy. Game 2, I went against another Fen Rao list, but it had a M3A interceptor, which is cool, and also had Bosk, which is cool. I love Bosk. It sucks because I lost to it. Lost to a list with the M3A interceptor. To be fair, it was flown exceptionally well. I don't think I flew right, and I ended up having to do some desperation tactics just to get a kill on Bosk. And I finished the game by sending Fen Rao over an asteroid, and he blew up. Game 3 didn't go much better. It was a Ray and a Ghost list. I got some pretty good blocks in that list with Manaru, but I just couldn't put my protectorates in the right spot to capitalize on those blocks, and I blew it, and I lost. So I started having flashbacks from last year. Last year I got my round 1 win and then just kept losing after that. And it was happening again. So I decided I need a change in disposition. I realized I was letting my opponents control the engagement. And I didn't have to do that. Like, I had high PS, I could reposition, I had speed, I had agility. I just had to keep reminding myself to engage on my own terms, and remember, everybody is dangerous at range 1, dangerous enough where it could influence how my opponent flies, and I need to capitalize on that. So game 4 was a Decimator, TIE Fighter, and TIE Striker list. It was an unusual list. I'd never seen cluster mines on Decimator before, and like an idiot, I fell for it, and Fen Rao ran over a couple of them, but he survived. Other than that, I took my own advice, engaged on my own terms. At one point, I got aggressive with Manaru and blocked the Decimator from doing a 2-turn, and blocked him off the board. Side note, make sure you get a judge if you're ever in that situation. It's just better, let the judge be the bad guy. You don't want to be accused of bumping anybody's ship. You don't want to give someone the opportunity to bump something and then all of a sudden, oh nope, he made it. But yeah, I pulled out a win, and I was super happy because at that point I had met my previous record from last Worlds. So from there, things were good. I couldn't do any worse. So game 5, I was really excited because my opponent was flying a Scum Fire Spray, and I love fire sprays. And my opponent had Ketsu, who wants to put tractor beams on you at range 1, and then Boba Fett had not only fearlessness but also cluster missiles. So I knew he wanted to push that range 1 engagement. I put Fen out as bait, made it look like, oh no, I went out too far. Then as he went aggressive, Fenrow took off and boosted, got out of arc, forced the fire spray to chase me into the corner, which is a terrible place for the fire spray to be. I ended up losing Fenrow, but I did finish him off with my other 2 ships, and at that point I had exceeded my record from last year. So, round 6. Here comes somebody in a Minox shirt, and oh no, it's the indomitable Brad Miller. So, Brad's good. He's really good. He has VI Whisper and Gunner Vader Rack. So, I thought that was an auto loss for me. You know, he doesn't even have to hit me to do crits to my guys. Like, oh, cool, good job, Auto Toasters. Now, I did have an initiative bid, and to this day, I still don't know if this was the right decision. I had Fenrow at PS9 versus his PS9 Whisper. I took initiative, but I don't know, man. Like, being able to reposition after the fact is also pretty huge. I don't know. It's long story short, this game's a bloodbath. My guys are getting Vadered and crit everywhere. Like, Whisper keeps hitting her marks. Old T-Rock actually got some damage through on one of the engagements on Whisper, so that was great. Fenrow managed to finish off Rack, but Manaru went, Fenrow went, and then I got a dying Old T-Rock and a bleeding Whisper, and I gotta just take this one shot. I put myself in position to get lucky. I survived, and Whisper's dice just failed her, so I managed to somehow pull a win out of my ass, and I won that game. It was incredibly taxing, and I was spent, and I think Brad could see it on my face, so I'm like, oh, I can't believe I won. I don't know. I probably couldn't even talk, and so he kind of pulled me aside and was like, hey, listen, man, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Don't lose.
Don't lose.
Game 7. I'm 4-2. My opponent is 4-2. We're both fighting for a chance at day 2. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. We've been at the FFG Center all day. So I ended up playing an Australian gentleman named David. He had Quick Draw, he had a A.D.D Vessery, and Omega Leader. His Vessery went through the debris and asteroids and kind of came around the flank, and he brought Omega Leader and Quick Draw up. I went for Omega Leader first because I thought, well, you can't target lock all of us. I got lucky. Old T-Rock's ability was very helpful, especially when taking out that Calm Relay. So I got Omega Leader. Vessery was A.D.D, so he has more offensive output. He's not as defensive as a TIX-7. I went for him. I got lucky. And then it was just Quick Draw left, and I had to be really careful, because if I get range 1 of Quick Draw, it's 4 dice and 4 dice if I do any shield damage. But I got a win. I made day 2. I made day 2.
If you made top 64 today, be here at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah. The thing about doing well and being successful in X-Wing is it means you also beat a lot of really good people, and I don't just mean good players, but just amazing personalities that it's just fun to be around these people. They're honest, they're honorable, they're fun, funny, but they're also great competitors, and it just that's why I like X-Wing, and this game really just reminded me of that. David and I had celebratory beers. I say celebratory because David's MOV was so high that he managed to make day 2 as well. So, David, hats off to you. Cheers. We gotta talk about Loopin Chewie in the at the Radisson Hotel lobby. A Gold Squadron podcast going on. People were just constantly running in and out of that. People screaming about Loopin Chewie. There's a dude right there drinking whiskey.
No! Whoa!
I gotta hand it to the Carolina Crates. They put on a really good show. They had this Loopin Chewie trophy. They had these little promo cards. And it was a lot of fun to be playing Loopin Chewie, even though we did it first. We did it first. So Saturday was day 1B for all the other X-Wing players, and for me it was Hangar Bay. I really like having the day off, just to kind of have a nice day to decompress and just chill out and hang out with people. It also gives you the maximum chances for Hangar Bay loot, and it also gives you a chance to jump into the prize wall as well. Speaking of Loopin Chewie, that night was the finals, and SoCal local Steven Salinas came home with the trophy. Congrats to you, Steven.